Hey, welcome and thanks for joining me as we dive into the third installment of the Trade Spend Maximizer framework. As a reminder, trade spend is the second largest line on the P&L behind cost of goods sold. And we actually find, in fact, that 1/3 of every trade dollar spent each year is wasted on ineffective and inefficient promotions or events or fees and fines that are not helping you maximize your dollars. And so we've created a framework for you that you can implement in your business so that you can maximize every dollar you're spending out in the trade to sell more product and get more of your products into the hands of the consumers. As a reminder, I am Kyle Barnholt, the CEO and co-founder of TrewUp. We help CPG brands manage their deductions and trade spend to maximize their sales and profitability. And we will be covering today the trade spend metrics portion of the framework. If you haven't seen our videos from before, I encourage you to go find those. We'll link them below. Watch those as they will help inform the conversation here today. You'll leave today's call understanding how you can create reports and track metrics that will help you and the team to manage these trade dollars. And then next week, we'll talk about how you can optimize your trade spend. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and dive in and I will share my screen. Okay, so this is the trade spend maximizer framework. It's made up of 4 parts. First, we have sales data. Then we have trade spend data. We have metrics. And last, we have optimize. Okay, the first two are important. We know what sales data and trade spend data is, but how do we get it into the format that we can actually leverage for insights in our business? I covered that in the first two. Now we're going to cover metrics. And so let's go ahead and dive into that. So there's 5 top line metrics that we want to track within our business and bring together in a report, which I'll show you in a minute. And so, first of all, we want to be capturing gross sales, which I know many, and if not all of you are. But when we look at trade spend, we want to be looking at your gross sales. This is essentially how much you sold to the direct customer at their list price. And then underneath that, we want to have the total trade spend as both a dollar and a percentage of your sales so that you can understand how much you've spent against your sales that you've generated, and then the rate or the percent there. And I'll show you in a moment. And then we have non-working trade spend. So, really simply put, these are dollars you're spending in the trade that are not directly leading to the sale of a product. So you want to track the dollars and the percentage. And then we have working trade, which is just the opposite. These dollars are going directly to the consumer to help drive product off the shelf. And finally, underneath non-working and working, we want to track and be able to drill down into the categories that make up each one of those sections. So let's go ahead and look at an example. So just to keep it simple, we're looking at a company who is doing $10 million with this account. They have $2 million in trade spend, which is 20% of their gross sales. And then they are spending 1.5 or 15% against working trade and $500,000 or 5% in non-working trade. As we drill down, we want to be able to see those categories underneath. So as you'd expect, under working trade, again, these are directly impacting the sales of product off the shelf or out of a warehouse. And here we have promotions, advertising, placement, coupons, displays, demos. There may be more, but I'm capturing the largest ones that we see. And then underneath that, and I think it's important just quickly to note, off to the right, you can see we're doing the percent of sales off your total 10 million for promotions, advertising, so on and so forth. This just helps you have some context against the number so that you can understand within working trade how much as a percent of sales. And then we look at non-working trade. And here you can see a couple of the key categories we've listed under the 500,000 spent in this example. You have spoils, logistics, fees and fines. You've got shortages, some admin fees, some fair share and allowances. And I think the key here is as we think about if we're overspent as an organization or with this account, and we want to peel back dollars and or just ensure that every dollar is going towards this working trade bucket, that we can maximize those dollars going there. This is going to be the place you're going to look, right? You're not going to look in a place where you're going to sell more product through the distributor or retailer. Instead, we want to look at these so that we can understand where are we wasting dollars that could be going directly towards helping get more of your product into the consumer's hands. And so this is going to be a critical view. And underneath each one of these, you can even break this down into subcategories. And in fact, we do like to do that. We want to look at spoils, what's spoiling in the warehouse versus what's spoiled at shelf versus maybe some form of an allowance. And this will help us even further drill down, okay, is there a certain item or a certain retailer that's driving that spoils number? And right now I'm kind of starting to get into the optimize section. So tune in the next video to see how we optimize these trade dollars. So thank you for joining me today. We will be posting this presentation and information in the link below, as well as the prior videos. Tune in to the next one so we can chat through how do you optimize your trade spend. And hey, if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me directly. We can get you lined up for a demo, or if you just have some questions on what we presented today, we're happy to help in any way we can. So thank you for your time. I hope you have a fantastic day and week, and we'll chat soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.